What's up guys, and welcome back to another Pokemon Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon video, and today I am going to be talking about 5 reasons why there is no hype for Pokemon Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon. Now of course, before I begin, I don't presume to imply that no one is excited for the games or that no one is going to buy them. I will buy them. I'm still excited, but there are just as many people out there that are either just given up sort of thing, or annoyed at the lack of information, or just not really feeling it for Pokemon Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon. So here are 5 reasons why that might be. Number 1, the reveal for the games was basically a footnote. If you guys think back to, what was it, June, when the games were actually revealed, they were revealed as part of the Pokemon Direct. Now, the majority of that Pokemon Direct was focusing on the new Pokémon DX, Pokémon Deluxe, for the Pokemon, or for the Nintendo Switch, and that was the majority of the Direct. The only time we actually got mention of Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon was at the end of that trailer, where they were like, boom, new games, and they gave a few 10-20 second clip of some gameplay. It was a footnote basically. The Pokemon Direct was just, not just to, but majorly, just to, say we got a game coming to the Switch, it's Pokemon Deluxe. And they were like, oh yeah, by the way, new game's coming out this November. There was no big hype around it. There was no, remember when Sun and Moon got revealed, and there was a whole lead up to it, and they were, just devoted just to the Pokemon Sun and Moon, whereas obviously Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon just seemed to be a footnote at the end of the Direct, and not really much was given about it. Obviously, the review went up on the website, but apart from that, it was just a case of, there are some new games coming out, here's a couple pictures and some new forms, and that was basically it. So initially that's one reason why people might not be as hyped, because there was no hype built up for it. Second reason might be that in that little clip we got, there was actually nothing really new hinted at for the games. Yes, we saw these new forms for Solgaleo and Lunala, but similarly we haven't had any information about these forms. We've just been told, look, new forms, and we already basically know what there are because we've seen a Necrozma in them exactly. There's no sort of mystery about, well, yes, okay, there is a level of mystery in the fact that, oh, how does Necrozma fuse or, armour up with Solgaleo and Lunala? That's interesting, but apart from that, it's a case of, it's Necrozma, we know, there's no, sort of mystery to it. And apart from that, there's nothing new shown. Yes, okay, we have 1 or 2 clips of, oh look, a Pikachu Park, or, oh, a new, more colourful area on Melee Island. There was nothing new hinted at. There was no tease of another Ultra Beast, or a tease of a new evil team, or nothing like that. There's nothing for people to really get excited about for the games. We know, okay, Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon, we've got some new forms, that's a standard sort of, thing. Is it a sequel? Doesn't look like it, because there was no hinting at it being a sequel. You seem to be playing the same character, so it's basically a Platinum or an Emerald. So, similarly, even then with Platinum and Emerald, we have some level of mystery with Giratina and, the plot rehash. But apart from that, we've had nothing. So that's another reason, the reveal was a footnote. It was a reveal though, but there wasn't actually much in the reveal to look at and carry forward to find, to think, oh my god, what's this? Well, I can't wait to find out this information. Or, yes, okay, some people might be excited to find out what these new Solgaleo and Lunala forms are, but majority of people would just say, just think, it's obviously Necrozma, it's going to be something to do with Necrozma, but I'm not too interested about it because I know it's Necrozma. There's no mystery behind how it, how it links up. It's just Necrozma. So that's another reason there. The third one is simply that we've had no news since the reveal, apart from the last few weeks, which of course we'll get onto. So apart from the last few weeks, there was no news. It's been 2 months since the games were revealed and sort of teased at, and generally we don't have a 2-month break between the reveal and the first information. As I've covered in a previous video, I compared it to Platinum's reveal, sort of release cycle, and there was information within the first month. Now, whether this is because they revealed the games too early and it didn't sync up, or whether they just revealed them too early and didn't have information built up for the full 5-month period before the release of the games, who knows? But it's the fact that it's been 2 months and we've had this one piece of information revealed for the games and nothing else. Really, there's been more information going on with Pokemon Go than there has been for the, obviously it's not a fair comparison, but there's been a lot more going on there in Pokemon Shuffle, I would say, than information for these new games, and that's weird. That's weird. You get new games, and generally the way you work a reveal cycle or a release cycle is you reveal the games, you get people sort of excited for them, then a few weeks later you tease out some more information. Oh look, new forms, oh, Alolan forms, and people are like, whoa, forms, what, huh, what, I can't wait for these games, and then just bit by bit every month, every couple of weeks, you give them some more information. Obviously, that's a lot easier to do when you have a game like Pokemon Sun and Pokemon Moon, where you have loads of new Pokemon to reveal, you do a load of forms to reveal, all of that stuff. It's a lot harder to do with a game like Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon, because what that implies to us, the fact that we haven't had any information, implies to us that these games are going to be very, very similar to Sun and Moon. And that is a worrying factor. If we had more information, that would obviously imply that there's a lot more information to actually see and not a lot of stuff to discover in the games. But because we haven't, it's a sort of implicator of an underlying issue with the games, which is that not much has changed. There isn't actually much to tell us about, which is obviously what people are taking away from the new news, thinking, well, it's obviously not a sequel, because, we sort of knew that already, but it's obviously not, because you'd be able to give us a little more information if it was. So it's clearly just the same games over again, and there's clearly not much to it if you're not really going to show us much. So that's what people are taking away from it, and that's the no news. That's really the crux of it. It's not just a case of, oh, I need to know everything about the game. It's the fact that if there's nothing they're telling us, then that might mean that there's actually nothing in the game to see that we haven't already seen. So that's the worrying factor of that there. But as I mentioned, we have had some information, as of course is the new form for Lycanroc Dusk, and that's point number 4. So when the information came out, it was teased for the anime. Really, the real reason it was actually revealed was for the anime, because it would come out in the anime anyway, so they did it at the same time. Interesting, cool, new form. My initial sort of gripe about it was it came out, it was Dusk form in English, but it's going to be the enemy form. That's my real gripe with the form, is the naming. I'm always down about the lore and stuff like that, and they've given it a Dusk form. We are not going to get a Dawn form, at least very unlikely, because in Japanese the form is called the Twilight form, which is a time at dawn or dusk. So why would it not be called the Twilight form in English as well? I don't know. But that's my gripe. But obviously most people's gripes is the fact that we then got some more information coming out, and we thought, oh, okay, new form, Dusk. Maybe it's got to evolve at dusk, or a certain point of the day, or maybe it's got to hold an item, or maybe it's got to have a high friendship when it does evolve. No, it's an event only. We get an event Rockruff when the games release, and that event Rockruff will be the only Rockruff, it would seem, that is able to be evolved into Lycanroc Dusk. And it seems very unlikely that breeding that Rockruff will allow you to get other ones. Very unlikely anything like that happens. And to layer on top of it, from the information we've seen and we've got, it looks like that Rockruff will only evolve into a Dusk Lycanroc if you evolve it before January 2018. If you evolve it afterwards, it might just be a normal Lycanroc. Now, no confirmation of that, of course, but that was information that was given out, and of course we'll have to see when the games come out for that. But that still is very worrying. And it's just, again, a symptom of possibly a bigger problem at Nintendo, or at Game Freak rather, with these games, is the fact that you could do a new form for Lycanroc. Cool, you can give out an event Rockruff when the game's release to actually make sure people have Rockruffs to use this new Lycanroc form, but make the Lycanroc form available in game, because it would be easy. You evolve, obviously in Sun and Moon you had to evolve depending on version, but well, no, it wasn't depending on version, was it? It was depending on the time of day, I think. Regardless, whichever way it was, you could still make it work that you can actually evolve this Rockruff into a third form, regardless of which Rockruff you have. And to add insult to injury, because if it's an event only, it seems less likely that you'll be able to breed it and get yourself a normal Rockruff and then evolve it. Shiny, probably not going to happen, because if you can't breed it, it's event only, it's not going to be shiny. Yes, so you can reset an event for a nature most likely, which means if you get a Adamant or a Jolly, you should be able to use your Hyper Training to get maximum IVs. You can EV train it and that'd be fine. You can use it for competitive, but apparently it's actually banned in competitive as well. So it seems like it's literally another Ash Greninja, and that again makes people angry about how this is going down, basically. That's one of your reasons there. So that's really reason 4, that Lycanroc Dusk is event only. There are, a few limiting factors to it, and there's no reason it couldn't be integrated into the game. Yes, okay, it's a special form for Ash for the anime. We don't care about the anime when we're looking at the gaming universe. We just want to be able to collect and catch them all. We don't want to be giving them all via events and say, this is the only way you can get Lycanroc Dusk, because what happens in future generations? Does it just become like another event they have to do every single generation? And so obviously you can transfer, but for new players to be able to get every single Pokemon, you have to get every single event every generation. Doesn't make much sense. So that's another reason there. However, we get onto the last reason, which may well be an underlying reason that people don't really realise is the reason, and that is that we know a main series game is being developed for Pokemon for the Nintendo Switch, likely to come out in either 2018 or 2019. Now, this was revealed at E3 after the sort of reveal of Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon, and we were teased at it. Not much information at all, just a case of it's coming to the Nintendo Switch. Now, this might be a reason that people aren't really that excited for it. Of course, if you're not planning on getting a Nintendo Switch, you're probably not the reason for you. But if you have a Nintendo Switch, or if you're planning to get one in the future, this might be a reason why you're just sort of, not that bothered about Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon, because you know there is a game coming on the Nintendo Switch. We hope and we possibly know, I guess, that it's going to be an amazing game, similar to Breath of the Wild. Not exactly the same format. Look for videos on that in the future, but it's going to be a good game. It's going to be hopefully full HD, maybe a bigger world because it can handle a bigger world. Play it on your TV. It's going to be pretty cool, regardless of what happens, hopefully. And the fact that we know it's coming may well be diverting our attention, I suppose you could say, away from Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon, because okay, cool, Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon coming out, yes, okay, seems to be basically the same as Sun and Moon. I'm not that interested in it. I'm looking forward to Pokemon on the Switch, and the fact that you're looking forward to it detracts at least some hype away from Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon. Now, is this the fault of Game Freak and Nintendo for actually telling us? Possibly, if they held it under wraps until at least Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon are actually released, maybe that would help negate this a bit. But at the same time, obviously you can feel the pressure from Nintendo. They really need to sell this new system. It is selling well at the moment, but similar to the Wii U, we had basically no strong Pokemon game on the Wii U ever apart from Pokken, and that was right at the end of the development cycle, so we can understand why they want to push these games out early in the development life cycle for the Switch, so they can get those sales and get it on a hype train, basically. Keep the hype train rolling. We've got some stuff now with Zelda, that's pretty cool. Splatoon's pretty cool. Keep it rolling though, and this is the implication. Yes, okay, they're developing a game for the Switch, but if they're not going to reveal it till next year, then that's sort of, you've lost it a bit. Whereas if they reveal it now, they're jumping on top of the hype train for the Switch, and we know, oh cool, we got Zelda, we got Pokemon coming, we got this and this and this. It's just a case of keeping it rolling, and you can see why they do that in Nintendo, but it's possibly not the best thing for Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon, because, as mentioned, it might well detract from some of the excitement, some of the anticipation, some of the hype from those games. But I want to know what you think, guys. What's your stance? Are you excited for the games? Are you not so excited for the games? And if so, which one of these reasons is it? Or is it another one that I haven't mentioned? Let me know down below in the comment section, guys, and if you enjoyed this video, hit the like button. But for now, this is going to be it for today, so I shall see you next time. Thank you for watching. Goodbye, my friends.